Oh, yeah. I'm ready.
Hello, we're live.
Oh, right. Sorry, I was on Wikipedia doing something. So professional on this channel. Hello, welcome to the Cinema Savvy Movie Podcast. I'm Chris Garner, joined by my co-host George Aldridge, Tate Niawa, Tom Woods, and joining on literally like 5 minutes ago, helping us judge today is Alistair. Thank you very much for jumping on for us, man. We really appreciate it. We are back with another episode of Battle of the Brackets, which is the show where we all basically just argue with each other for our pick today for greatest original Disney song. It's going to get very heated. We make a lot of enemies on the channel, but at the end, we're all friends. We've got some great
way of airing things out. Like, if we have any arguments or squabbles between us, we're just like, okay, we'll do a battle of brackets. We'll get it all done with.
Yeah. It's just it's an opportunity for us to vent, to let out all our aggression, and then be friends at the end of it. But we've got some great Disney songs on this one. It was really, really tough picking these, and I should say that when we say Disney songs, we are referring to the 1 to 54 list in the UK anyway of the animated classics. So you won't see things featured like anything from Pixar, like Toy Story, or for example, Nightmare Before Christmas.
I wanted songs from Lion King too, but these guys were very very strict on that, even though Lion King 2 has the best songs.
Yes, no Disney sequels. This is strictly 1 to 54. So as we have started pretty late, shall we just
get straight into it? And I believe I have the bracket up here so I can actually see who's going first. But the first... Oh, yeah, wait a second.
Yeah. I will present George. Do you want me to go through it?
Yeah, go through it.
I'm going to present you to everyone, so your screen's just showing up and we can speak over the top.
Yeah, so we've got... I actually don't know half these songs.
I've got the songs.
We have When You Wish Upon a Star from Pinocchio against Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid. We have Colours of the Wind against I'm Still Here from Treasure Planet. We have I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan against I Want to Be Like You from Jungle Book. Taylor's Oldest Time from Beauty and the Beast against Reflection from Mulan. Hellfire from Hunchback of Notre Dame against God Help the Outcasts from Hunchback of Notre Dame. Be Prepared from Lion King against I've Got No Strings from Pinocchio. A Whole New World from Aladdin against I Won't Say I'm in Love from Hercules. And Go the Distance from Hercules against Circle of Life from Lion King. So this is going to be a really, really tough fight. And actually... one that's probably going to be the hardest for me to argue because, as I said, some great picks in this one.
Yes.
Yes, if you guys all say so.
Okay. I am now going to start off this by basically starting the timer on the first one. But the first battle is George versus Tom. When You Wish Upon a Star from Pinocchio versus Part of Your World from Little Mermaid. Are you ready, George?
You have a minute each, and then 30 seconds each after.
Hold on. Whoa. Is that really mine?
Yes.
It's too late now, Tom. And Alistair, remember, as our judge, you are voting on the argument, not the film itself. So it all rests on you.
Cool. Okay, so I guess, George, you're going first with When You Wish Upon a Star, and then you're going after.
Unless Tom wants to forfeit.
Tom going with Part of Your World.
Jesus, right. Okay, yeah, I can argue it. I had arguments against it.
George, by the way, guys, we are arguing for not only the song, but also the video of the song from the film.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the animation, whatever happens in there, the story it's told. Okay, so George,
do you have the clock?
3, 2, 1, go.
Who's going first?
Me.
Oh,
I think me. Yeah.
Go. I'll restart it.
When You Wish Upon a Star is one of the most iconic Disney themes ever made. I mean, it's played at the start of every single Disney thing today. You know, the whole stars going over the castle-y thing. So when you cut back to Pinocchio, yes, it's the second film, but it certainly set the tone from what's to come. And it's a fantastic song. It's got the eerie, oldish voice from Jiminy Cricket singing over the top. Visually, most of it is over a credit scene. However, there's nothing wrong with that. It's setting the scene for what's to come, especially as the Pinocchio book opens, so you know you're going to get put into this kind of story, yeah, because it's like a book within a book, like the Jungle Book, stuff like that. And it's it's the most standout song as well from that film, and it's an iconic piece of music. Is a minute up?
No, you still got 15 seconds.
15? Yeah. I can't talk about Disney songs for that long. It's just listen to it. It's absolutely incredible. I don't know what else I can say.
And stop, Tom. You'll go.
Okay, so the animation for The Little Mermaid, this particular bit is fabulous. Everything really comes alive, and the song itself really delves deep into the character of Ariel and how her life underneath the sea isn't as sort of exciting to her as maybe life on the surface, and that really comes through in both the song and in the animation, where she can't towards the end of the song, actually, she can't fit through the gap in on top of I think it's like a little den or whatever, but she's reaching up to the surface, and it really cements that position, that idea of something greater in the song. And I think that's really what both the animation and the song itself excel at, is portraying that idea of wanting to be free from constraints.
George, 30 seconds.
The problem is the Little Mermaid song is just a bit boring. It's not that memorable compared to the other ones. Whereas with this, if you look at the lyrics, you've got When a Star's Born, it's telling the story of Pinocchio, you know. They have the power to make a wish come true. Giuseppe does that eventually. Although it's Jiminy Cricket singing it, it's showing what's to come, and that's why it fits perfectly on top of an opening credits and introduction into the kind of Disney era. Is that 30 seconds yet? Christ almighty.
Still got 10 seconds. Dude, you're so bad with this timing thing.
It's because this has been very last minute today.
Tom, you'll go.
Okay, right. So, you know, the song may be a bit boring, but what does it say about the character? That's really what I'm focusing on here. It might not be the most memorable song, but it says more about the character than I think Wish Upon a Star does, because that's just a classic song, and you know, but it doesn't have any deeper meaning to it. What I think with The Little Mermaid, this particular song, is just the sheer depth of character. And you know, I keep saying that the song might be boring, but it's the stuff behind it.
Okay.
Jesus.
Right, am I going first on this one?
Yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and say slow start, guys. But
yeah,
it's been a very rushed day.
It has.
Chris,
trying to get this off the ground tonight has been just a trial and a half. I'm going to go first then, so I'm just going to come out right and say it. I'm going to go with Tom's argument on this one. I think he gave the much more fleshed out argument. He was able to fill the time and not have to stall for time.
You don't need to do that. I know I'm out.
First off, you said about like Disney songs and how like you can't talk for that long. And I'm like, well, I hope you can more into the arguments. I love the point about that Tom made about reaching up to the surface. I'm going Tom on this one. Part of your world.
Alistair, do you want to go ahead next?
I think the Pinocchio was probably better argued. However, I think the point about relating it to the character sort of kills it. So I might have to go with The Little Mermaid just because it speaks so deeply about the character and it resonates through the whole film. Whereas the Pinocchio is a nice tune, you remember it, but that's all it is.
Awesome.
Okay.
Tate, what would you have gone out of?
I'm going with Little Mermaid.
Yeah. It's a clean sweep.
I had already edited this out halfway through the argument for the next bracket.
Okay, so round first one to go through is Part of Your World, Little Mermaid. The next battle is Pocahontas, Colors of the Wind versus
funny, this was also one I thought I didn't pick, so I was trying to think of arguments against it.
What was meant to be like a really quick, easy, fun battle of the brackets has turned into the hardest one to get off the ground. Yeah. Okay, I guess you're going first.
I'm going to go with Colors of the Wind first.
Yep.
Colors of the Wind may be one of the absolute best sung Disney songs that has been done. Irene Bedard actually did a phenomenal job with the voice, and the animation for Colors of the Wind is phenomenal that you see throughout the entire video. They use different artistic styles throughout it. It takes you on this magical journey through her world, and it is about learning between two different worlds. And she's teaching a lesson there which everyone can learn from. I know that Chris is going to say it's preachy, but to be honest, all of the Disney songs are preachy in some way, shape, or form. No, this tells a tale in its own encapsulated thing. And let's just talk about the score behind the music as well. It really is. It stood out. When I was listening through the Disney songs when picking this, it really did stand out. Just the quick like whistle that came in all the way throughout the song, all different animals and creatures that come in. It builds a story, and it's a belter. It stands out more than I'm Still Here, which is boring and forgettable. The video may be nice, but the song itself is just bad. It's badly sung, and it's really boring. You go, Chris.
Okay, whilst I will agree that I'm Still Here from Treasure Planet is a very unconventional choice in terms of a Disney song, the reason that I think it's better than Colours of the Wind, whereas Colours of the Wind is a beautiful song, don't get me wrong, it's very trite and very cliched and very much in line with that kind of era of Disney. Treasure Planet's one, you say that yours told a story. I think that I'm Still Here tells a much more complex story because it's all devoted to the character of Jim Hawkins. He's a very angsty teenager. He hasn't really had much father figure. He hasn't really had a father figure in his life, and the whole song really is just his theme. In the video, you see him bonding with John Silver because he immediately doesn't like him at first, and it's like the relationship that develops with him as he sees him as a father figure, juxtaposed with the flashback of his father leaving him when he was a little kid. And it's really heartbreaking. There's no dialogue in it. It's just the song that plays over the imagery. You see his mum just crying, and without words, you know exactly what's going on. You feel the emotion with it.
And stop. It doesn't feel personal because he isn't the one singing it. It's background music, and once again, I want to say the video is nice, but the music is not nice. And this is a Disney song thing. We're arguing for both, and half of it is already lost. You cannot argue with the empowering voice that shines through on the first and second chorus in Colours of the Wind. Whilst I'm Still Here, the song is just it drives me insane. I don't know why it's even on this list. It may seek to a different meaning, but it's just bad. You'll go, Chris?
Colours of the Wind, yeah, we get it. White man, bad, environment, good. That's basically all that song is. If you look at the lyrics to I'm Still Here, I want a moment to be real. It's him wrestling with his own identity. He wants to be greater. He wants to become the man he knows he can be, but he doesn't know how to get there. And with Silver through the song, and there is a course throughout the song. There's an arc to the very song itself and the clip. And you reach at the end, and Jim's a different person by the end of the song, and that's what a good song can do.
Okay. Tom, do you want to go first?
Yeah. I'm just going to straight up and say it. Chris argued so much better there. I like the fact that he argued about sort of the the background behind the character as well, and really incorporated it into the argument. So my vote is for Christopher.
Thanks,
George.
So with the arguments, I thought that Tate made the stronger points in the rebuttal and the main one. So I've got to go with Colours of the Wind. I thought it was a stronger argument overall, especially putting down the other one.
Alistair?
All down to you.
Yeah, I thought Tate gave a pretty decent argument, but that was more based on the context of the song rather than Chris's argument, which is really based on the context and the lyrics, and he viewed the lyrics of the Pocahontas and that sort of theme as well. So I'm going to have to give it to Chris as well, I'm afraid. Better argue.
Okay. So I'm Still Here goes through.
Should also say in between this, if anyone's watching, please comment and let us know some of your favourite Disney songs.
And I will keep hot on that. And I will have a look.
Is there anyone watching at all? Are we it?
We had a few last time. We had a few.
Yeah. In fact, I'm just pulling up now. Just have a look. In fact, I'm on the next battle so we can get that started. Next battle is I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan versus I Want to Be Like You from The Jungle Book. Are you guys ready?
Yeah. I am ready indeed.
Okay, and go.
Okay, I'll Make a Man Out of You is without a doubt one of the best movie montage songs ever. It's one of those Disney songs that immediately starts and you know what movie it's from, you know exactly what moment it's from, and it really is just an absolute gut punch of a song. What's so good about this song as well, if I'm going to bring it to the clip, is that again, like with the Treasure Planet pick, it is a character's journey. You start off with Mulan, who's volunteered into the army as a woman. She's posing as a guy, and you know, she can't do any of the training. They're all terrible. All the troops in the regiment are terrible. And throughout the course of the song, in one of the most inspiring Disney songs there is, they all become warriors of China. And it's awesome. And it's the great shot at the end where, you know, she gets sent away from the army like, you're no good, get out. And she's packing up and she looks one more time at that wooden mast that they've got to get to the top of with the arrow. And as the song builds, it culminates in the finale of that song with just the chorus coming back in at the end. She climbs the pole, she gets the arrow, and then it's perfect.
Go.
I Want to Be Like You is one of not only the most iconic, memorable Disney songs ever made, it's one of the funnest songs. And it's just great. You meet King Louis for the first time, and he's just kidnapped. You want to see why has he gone here? And he just bursts into a song that he just wants the power of... Just, you know, I want a man's red flower. This is this version, not the new one. The new one focused on that too much. But it's just great. And you look at the animation of them dancing and then just having a good time. It's very different. And the problem with the Mulan one, is that it doesn't feel like they all become soldiers at the end of it. It's just a normal montage, and there's so many of them. It's just so boring. Whereas I Want to Be Like You is just an iconic piece of music and perfectly epitomizes the characters of Baloo. Sorry, was that the time ever?
No, you got 15
Oh, sorry, that was a
seconds.
cough. Yeah, so it perfectly emphasizes the character. You've got Baloo, who's just taking any risk he can to get Manka back. And you've got King Louie, who's just showing around with his little gangster, even the little funny little old
And stop.
ape.
Go.
I Want to Be Like You is a fun song, but I mean, Jungle Book has so many fun songs. You've got the Vulture song at the end of the movie, and you've got Bare Necessities, which I think is a song that definitely trumps that one in terms of popularity. Ultimately, that song's just Baloo and King Louie just having some fun, dancing around. I'll Make a Man Out of You is integral to the character of Mulan. It transcends just like the gender of her, just how she's been put down the whole movie, and it's the real chance where she proves herself as an integral part of the Chinese army. And that's
And
what a great
stop.
montage does.
Go.
It isn't a great montage. Yeah, it's an all right montage. It's not that great. It's not memorable at all. There's a few bits there, whereas you could talk in memorable. You've got I Want to Be Like You. Everyone, kids know this song, adults know this song. They grew up with this song. Most people don't really think of that song when they think about Mulan. They think of other things. Whereas Jungle Book always harks back to this, and it offers stuff to the plot as well as the other stuff, as well as being a fun scene. Continuations of the film.
And stop. Okay, Alistair, do you want to go first on this one?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, the Jungle Book. It's a good song. It's a good tune. It's memorable, but it doesn't really speak that much too deeply about the story. I think it's a bit superficial. And it's just, you were mentioning the dancing around. That's pretty much all it is. I don't remember anything much about it beyond that. However, Mulan, as Chris said, it is about character development, and it does show a lot of story to Mulan.
Okay, you're breaking up a bit on my. I think you're going with Mulan on that one, right?
I'm going to go
Yeah.
next.
Yeah.
I love Make a Man Out of You, and I'm not the biggest fan of I Want to Be Like You. I could think of many flaws to that song, which Chris didn't point out. And really, George did point out the main flaw to I'll Make a Man Out of You, which is the fact that it is a montage among montages. And it is, when you put it that way, it has been seen before. It doesn't really do much. Whilst George was talking about the dancing and the animation there, which was well done and it was fun. Whilst Make a Man really just ends up being a sing-along. So I'm going to go with I Want to Be Like You, George.
Tom.
King of the
Ooh.
Swingers isn't a sing-along? Okay.
I think I know George spoke about sort of it's just iconic. It's an iconic song that you just instantly know. I like all the character stuff in Make a Man Out of You, but I think just for sheer, I mean, you sometimes you just want a song to be fun, and I think George put that point through quite well. So I'm going to go with George's. Yeah, George on this one.
I Want to Be Like You.
Yes, I completely forgot the pick. Completely forgot it.
Jesus. Oh my God, Mulan's out. Well, actually, no. There's another Mulan song
No,
yet to
I've
feature.
got the other Mulan song. Okay, so that is the third
my
one
favourite
down
pick
the
out.
first round. Chris's number one pick toppled, and so has George's so far. I'm hoping that my number one pick doesn't get toppled later on, which it might. Okay, so next we got Beauty and the Beast. It's called two different things. Disney have called it two different things. They call it Tale as Old as Time. They've also called it just Beauty and the Beast. That song versus Reflection from Mulan.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going first. 3, 2, 1, go.
So I just want to start off by saying that this film or this particular song has won a Golden Globe for Best Original Song. Let's just get that out of the way straight away. Also, it does a lot for character as well, which is this is the scene where this is the song where Beast and Belle sort of connect and really express their true feelings for one another, because it's sort of been building up this whole time, and it encapsulates in this one song. And It's fantastic. The animation is gorgeous, especially the sweep down from the chandelier. Just the environment is so beautiful, and the song itself, whilst being simplistic, it has deeper undertones and is actually very remarkable. And also, just if you listen to it, it gets you right in the feels. Like it really does. It just tingles down your spine. Everything. I almost cried at it.
Reflection is a different song, I would say. It is two sides to one coin. Even on the image we've used for the Battle of the Brackets, it is a picture of half her face painted of how her parents want her to live and half of how or what she is. It is a reflection of her own personality, and identity is a huge part of Mulan. It is possibly the key part of Mulan, discovering who you are and what you want to become. And this song perfectly sets that up. It perfectly does it. It's beautifully, absolutely amazingly sung by an actress who I cannot pronounce the name of. I will try. Ming-Na Wen. And just everything about the scene, the walking through the gardens, the look from her parents, it's just everything that goes into that. That brings emotion to me, as it is a personally driven moment. Beauty and the Beast, it kind of says it in the title. The beauty will probably get with the Beast. In this, you don't know whether she will end up becoming what she wants to become. Instead, you're left with this song, which leaves her just unsure on where she's going, unsure on what she is at the present moment in time. You'll go, Tom.
I think you're just kind of wrong on that. You say you know they'll get together, but do you really?
Yeah.
And I think this really does wonders for both characters, because you know they've suffered hardships before, but this is the point at which they both recognize that they both love each other. And you know, I said it before, but man, it's a tearjerker, and that's why you should vote for it.
I'm going to go ahead and say that the singing I don't like. It's done in like a really quirky British accent, and it would be better sung with maybe an actress just doing it in a plain, normal accent. Like, instead it stands out and it doesn't settle right on, like, when I listen to it. Yeah, sure, it's
an English
and hear it. I know it's an English woman, but it's done with like almost an overly English accent. Like, it's done with like plain English. It sounds like it is when you listen to it. It really does. Whilst Mulan is just perfectly sung as it should be and stuff.
But that's Angela. Sorry, just one more thing before you vote.
No.
You can vote and then I'll say.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, can I jump in on this one?
Go for
Chris,
it.
go.
I think I'm going to say what Tom was about to say. Angela Lansbury is American.
I know, but no. I said
Is
it was
she?
sung with a British accent,
Yes.
an overly British accent.
She's British.
I
isn't she?
thought she's English. She's the one from
Yeah, she is.
I
Angela
thought she.
Lansbury.
Yeah.
She's murdered.
I'm going to pass to someone else. I need to check this.
Yeah, she's a Londoner.
Yeah, she was born in Regent's Park.
Yeah.
Oh, British American. We're kind of both right.
Who wants to go next then?
Alice, do you go next?
Yeah, okay. The Mulan song just delivers a lot more about the storyline. I don't feel that the what film is the one from now?
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
That's the one. Yeah, I think it's just a bit cliche and love story. It's called Beauty and the Beast. They're gonna get together. Come on. You know, but I think there's a lot of turmoil in the Mulan song. I think it comes through pretty well.
George, do you want to pick on the next one?
It's lagging. What's the score? Is it 1-1?
No, it's I got the first vote for Reflection, so it's your go.
Okay. It was a very interesting argument from both of you. I think what's won it for me is the most memorable bit, which was Tate arguing about how it's what her parents want her to be on Mulan, the half face thing, which I think was a stronger act. I didn't think of it like that, so I'm sending through Mulan.
Out of curiosity, I would have gone Taylor's Oldest Time, Beauty and the Beast, because that is kind of the
But I think his
main story point that it culminates to in that one song and that one moment. And it is a classic, and it did win the Oscar, and it did kind of what propelled Beauty and the Beast to win Best Animated Film.
Like, so many things have not. I could just use the Crash argument. Crash won the Oscar, so it doesn't make it a good film.
Yeah, but Crash is a brilliant film.
Wait, what? What? Do you like Crash, Tom?
Yeah, Crash is like awesome, but that's not what we're arguing.
Let's stick to
Okay.
Disney, folks.
I'm
So,
really
George, have you got the first half of the board done or not?
Give me about 25 seconds.
Okay, I'll stall
Okay.
for time.
I'm going to go
Wow.
ahead and say that I am so confused, and I didn't think that Ariel would win the first fight. I didn't think that Colors of the Wind would lose. I didn't think Make a Man Out of You would lose. I didn't think Beauty and the Beast would lose.
I'm right there with you.
If I bet on all of them, I would have lost on all of them.
And Treasure Planet, as I said, was my underdog pick. I can't believe that beat
I
out.
can't believe
Um,
that beats
I
out.
really can't.
I'm putting
I'm
George on
really-
screen.
Yeah, so I genuinely didn't know that Treasure Planet got eliminated until about 1 minute ago. I
Treasure
actually,
No,
Planet's
Treasure
amazing.
Planet went through.
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. I
I'm so
voted for
confused.
Tate, and I thought he'd gone through. So
I thought it was going through as well.
You also have a line through the Jungle Book.
oh
George.
yeah, sorry.
yeah,
It's been
That's
a very
just on the
stressful
spot.
day.
yeah.
It's been very stressful.
Okay, so
Okay.
just to clarify, the picks that have gone through are Part of Your World, I'm Still Here, I Want to Be Like You, and Reflection. So now we move on to the
I'm not going to lie,
seconds.
this is the quickest ever times, what's it called, Battle of the Brackets we've ever done.
It's
Yeah.
because it was your choice to do Disney Tate.
It was my choice to Disney. I'm loving it.
Comic book films is next, which is
Yeah.
the
Comic book films is next, which is going to be intense.
It's gonna be
There's
the
going to
one.
be a lot of friendships lost that day. Today we're going to lighten it up. In fact, we're going to lighten it up with two of the most miserable songs in this list: Hellfire versus God Help the Outcasts.
Yes,
Both from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which I'm willing to say is my favorite Disney film.
and mine as well.
Wrong.
Oh, sorry, Donald.
What?
Wrong.
Okay,
Wrong.
I'm going to start it. 3, 2, 1, go. Hellfire is a torn and twisted song. It's probably the darkest that Disney has ever gone in a song. It takes it past a normal villain song. The way that he is tormented in his mind, it is like he is speaking to his own conscience. At the start of the very song, he starts like, what's his name? Tony J starts with a very soft, mellow voice. You feel like he is in some way innocent, or there is some part of him that is still left to his humanity. And then when he starts to sing and talk about how he is regretting the decisions he's made and how he has turned to sin and how it's all kind of gone to pieces because of this one woman who he's like pining over, it turns into an amazing just orchestral piece. And you've got the rows and rows of demons that are his conscience, and he is speaking to them, he is asking for answers, and all he is getting in return is just a blank red sheet. And it is truly the greatest villain song that Disney have ever done. Okay, Chris, go.
Okay, whilst I love the song Hellfire, and that this is probably one of the toughest picks to go against, what I would argue is that Frollo is more fascinating when you just see these changes in his character without a song basically spelling out everything to the audience in just clear black and white. There's a moment earlier in the movie where he literally just like creeps up behind Esmeralda, like grabs her back and like sniffs her hair, and it's really, really creepy. And you don't need a song to do that. I mean, that would be like the craziest, most outlandish Disney song I ever saw, but that moment on its own speaks a lot more than the Hellfire song does. And also, I think the moments where Frollo are talking to the demons and the bit at the end, like in the movie when he sees demons, that really takes me out of the movie, because the film up until that point is just so real and just like integral to character. And then when those moments happen, it really just takes me out, because I know that this couldn't be happening. God Help the Outcasts, though, is just a beautiful, beautiful song. And what's so great about it is it doesn't have like...
And stop.
Oh my God, damn it.
I just want to say that you didn't even argue about your own song there. I'm
I
going
know, I
to
was going to pick it up in the next 30 seconds.
It's a nice, well-sung song, but it's forgettable. There's nothing really going on in the video other than her walking through the church. The animation of the smoke and the flames coming out in Hellfire is phenomenal. And in the end, you feel like he is tormented. It is him finally turning full evil. And it's something that you don't see in a generic Disney villain song. It's something that has gone from slightly innocent to full. Okay, go.
What's so great about this is because this song could really easily beat you over the head with religion all the time, but it really isn't, because Esmeralda isn't saying that she believes in God. She's saying that she doesn't know, and she just wants protection for her people. It really expresses her as an empathic character, and a character that we really sympathize for. She's like preaching against like racism and discrimination. There's a scene where she's walking across a whole row of candles, which symbolizes her just like separate from all the people. Like she is a cut above the rest. She is very different to everyone, and it is a very selfless act. It's just like, and how it works as a song is that
And
it's
stop.
almost like a prayer itself.
Okay.
Damn it.
Who wants to go
lost
first?
track of time on that one.
Tom.
My God.
Okay. I think Chris, you kind of went on the attack almost
I did.
like straight
Yeah.
away, and although I do think Tate's animation points really sort of stuck with me. I did think you actually brought it back at the end, Chris, with your 30 seconds to talk about the song. I like the points you raised about it, so I'm voting Chris for this one.
Thought it was
Okay.
too little, too late at the end. In all
Alistair?
honesty.
I think Chris should have spent more time arguing his own song, to be honest. Although the last 30 seconds did make a very strong case for that song. I think I'm going to have to give it to Hellfire, because it's not very often you see a villain that sort of the motives come to fruition, within the film. Like say in Aladdin, you've got Jafar, who's already evil. So I quite like the way it instigates that and sets that out. So I'll give it to Hellfire.
George.
I think Chris attacked far too early, which led to talking about Tate's film more so than defending his. So I'm sending Tate through.
That's fair.
Oh.
It's Hellfire is such an awesome
Chris,
song that
if you'd done those 30 seconds first and switched it around,
Yeah.
you would have won
Yeah.
that, and that makes me
Yeah.
scared.
It is a great pick though, and I think I went on the attack because I know how that would
Yeah.
have been my number one choice, but you
I know
got it
it's your
first
number
before
one
me,
choice. I
so
stole it from you.
that's fair. I'm not even mad about that.
Okay, so next we've got Be Prepared versus I Got No Strings.
Yeah, I want to forfeit this one.
You want to forfeit this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will fight on Tom's behalf for this one.
No.
Yeah, I want to see.
Really?
This. I want to see
I'm
this.
gonna fucking try.
Because I've got nothing.
Oh, I thought you said I've got no strings.
If Chris wants to do it, that's fine with me.
Chris, you
but-
sure you want to fight? Be
Although
prepared.
I would love to see Tom try and argue this one. I genuinely would.
You just end up doing the Futurama moment versus Futurama moment from the first one we did.
Okay.
where
Go
he-
on, Tom. Go on, Tom.
when he
Do it.
complimented
I'll give it a try.
Go on. Do it.
Okay, George, you're up first. Tom, you've got a
Fucking
minute
hell.
to think of an argument. Go.
Yeah, Jesus.
Am I? What's happening?
Go. You're
Is it
going.
started?
Yeah, you,
Prepared, yeah.
okay, I'm
Right,
rewinding it and go.
Be Prepared is one of the greatest Disney songs of all time because it is the most evil, bastardized villain plotting his scheme of how he's going to take the throne. Not the Iron Throne, this is the original throne people were fighting for. And we're going to talk about the song itself, I'm not going to, I can sing the whole song, but anyway, let's talk about the animation. In fact, it begins with a villain in his lair walking through green puffs of smoke to match his every movement. It's fascinating. Then you've got Jeremy Irons' delivery of the entirety of the song, which is phenomenal in itself, and I want more. That reading Lion King, we deserve more of this. And it sets out his goals, it shows how mental he's become, especially given he's openly saying, I'm going to kill my brother and his nephew. Someone asked if they were ill, he says, no, we're going to kill them. That is absolute savage. And that is what your villain needs. He needs a song to match his on-screen actions, which follow this promptly. Has that been a minute? Because I've got loads more.
No, you are so bad at this.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not bad at this. Be prepared. Then you've got the comparisons to Nazi Germany.
And stop.
That's why I wanted to know.
Tom, go.
Okay, right. So this song really, although it's nice and jolly, what it says about Pinocchio as a person is it's him discovering that he can be free without strings attached on him. And this song was used as the crux of the trailers for Avengers: Age of Ultron as well, sort of cementing that idea of Ultron being free without strings. And also this really cements it as well, because he looks at all these different puppets and realizes that this is what I used to be. And I think it cements that rather well. And is that a minute?
No, 5 seconds.
What? How long?
And stop. George, 5 seconds, rebuttal.
Let's talk about I've Got No Strings. The fact that to mention Avengers shows how awful the song is, because you're talking about the other film, not Pinocchio. Then there's the small fact of it being about slavery in America and how racist the song is. It is a horrifically racist song. Okay, in 1940 it was different, but now you can't compare it to Be Prepared, which is part of an Oscar-winning soundtrack itself. But the first 10 seconds are the best thing about the song, and Avengers did make it better.
George, have you already ticked off I've Got No Strings from this before Tom does his final argument?
I can start.
I would like to be fact checker Chris on this one because I'm like that. George, in your first argument, you said that Jeremy Irons sung the. Oh wait, what?
Tom hasn't done his last phase.
Oh yeah, my bad. Sorry. I thought we cut off. Tom,
Okay,
last
go.
thing.
Okay, right. So you talk about it being used in Avengers and sort of talking about that more, but you know that's sort of the idea of the song is that good. That it gets used in other stuff.
10 seconds.
No, that's that.
Okay,
That's
and
it.
stop. So, Chris, fact checker, go.
Okay, the first argument, George, you said that Jeremy Irons sung the entire.
What he
song.
didn't, Whoopi Goldberg did, and the other hyenas did. But
No,
that's what I meant.
no. The voice of Scar himself, he only sung about half of that song. Jim Cummings, who's a great voice actor, sung the last bit. I don't know why Jeremy Irons, I guess, couldn't hit those notes, but there was that. And also, I've Got No Strings has nothing to do with slavery.
Yes, it does.
Really does.
Yes, it does. Google it.
Doesn't.
Google it.
It does.
Yes, it does.
I know it makes fun of, like, you know,
Poor-
like the
poor
French
fact-checking.
accent.
It's about race. It's about the racism and it's about slavery.
Is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Have a look.
Although it is quite racist in the song.
I'm going George on this one
yeah.
on grounds of slavery in old 1940s Disney movies.
George in grounds of everything. Alistair.
I suppose there's a bit of character development in the song, isn't there? However, when you've got a villain literally singing out loud how he's going to murder his family, you kind of got to give it to him. It's pretty badass, isn't it?
And Scar has goose stepping hyenas as well.
I can sing the
There
entirety
you
of
go.
that song. I'm not joking.
You should do that in your next argument.
Do you want me to do it in my next argument? No, I'm going to take down Hellfire.
Punchback, because that'll definitely get you somewhere. Okay,
Where do
so Be Prepared goes through.
So what is our next round?
Next
Let's
round
power
is
through this.
Aladdin, A Whole New World versus I Won't Say I'm in Love from Hercules.
Ooh, I like both of those
Okay,
ones.
Tom, are you ready?
Yes.
And go.
Okay, right. So this says a lot more about Jasmine's character than it does Aladdin's, because previously in the film she was constrained to just the palace. You know, it's her breaking out of the constraints of the palace and setting free across the world, and it's about the Aladdin and Jasmine, about the new world that they're going to discover together while riding on the carpet, and you know, and the sort of beginnings of the love they shared for each other. And you know, it's also about Aladdin wanting to get release from being a sort of street rat, as it were. But it does say a lot more about Jasmine's character. The song is brilliant. It's memorable. It's catchy. And it's beautifully animated as well. And, you know, just the last
And
shot is
stop.
breathtaking.
Susan Egan was the singer of I Won't Say I'm in Love, and it is catchy. And you want that with a Disney song. You want it to be catchy. You want it to be something that reminds you of the film, something that keeps on making you go back. And I know Aladdin does that quite well, but I Won't Say I'm in Love, I've been listening to it nonstop ever since hearing it. I really have. And it's beautifully sung. You've got the muses in the background, making it have a Motown feel. And it brings something different. And the entire film of Hercules has that kind of Motown feel with the muses in the background. It's just the animation done in it with her dancing through the gardens and almost kind of saying, yes, I'm in love. No, I'm not in love. Okay, I'll keep that in the back of my head, and not wanting to say that she is in love out loud, which is something that people struggle with, really. And it comes into fruition in this entire song where she really does lay her heart out on the line to no one. She's singing it to the statues, and it shows how vulnerable she is as a character, but also willing to move on with the previous relationships which were taken away from her. Go.
Okay, right. So this song got a segment on the 65th Academy Awards, where it did win the Academy Award for Best Original Song, and
Crash,
it also is the first Disney song to win a Grammy Award for Song of the Year. And if that doesn't tell you how good it is, nothing else will. And, you know, I've just peaked a bit too early there. Yeah, so Aladdin is about 30 seconds up.
Now it is.
Good.
Aladdin's song is quite creepy. He literally just picks her up and takes her off around the world, and she doesn't really have any idea where they're going. Not only that, but like the Hercules song, it is seeing a character who has been rejected to the point where she's actually had to sell her soul for a man, and it's her starting to reopen out into the world again, in a similar way to Aladdin's one. However, I just prefer it as a song, to be honest. I'm just going to go ahead and say that I prefer it as a song, and that's my time. I was really struggling at the end there. This is tough.
Right. This is a tough one. I love both songs. I love both songs to death. I think that A Whole New World is definitely one of the all-time classic Disney songs. However, I think that Tate argued better. He brought in the actual genre of it, talking about the Motown. It's very different to a Disney song, but it is catchy. He talked about the vulnerability of the character. I just think he covered more of the basis of the entire song as a whole, so I'm going to go Tate on this one.
Do you want me to go, Alistair?
Alistair?
Hercules was pretty well argued, but I feel that Aladdin, because you see the character development of Aladdin actually sort of talking to Jasmine and her, you know, coming in and thinking about it for herself that way. I think you sort of have to give it to that because it's a duet and the way it carries the story and the scene. Yeah.
Okay, so George, tiebreaker.
I think you both actually argued them quite poorly. Tate, you should have brought up the fact that Katy Price destroyed that Aladdin song in her remake.
I was thinking about saying it, and I was also thinking about talking about how Grammys mean nothing as well.
Well, I wouldn't say about the Grammys. I think that made a more interesting argument for it, although you're kind of right about the Grammys, but I think he attacked you with more than you were able to attack him with. In terms of defending the song, I think Tate, you've got the edge there, which has me at a 50-50 split. But I'm going to go based for the arguments. Unfortunately, I have to send through Tom.
Oh my God, I got away with that. I really fucking did.
Really did.
I think you both were pretty awful in that round.
Well, I know that I was struggling towards the end there. And
Also, I want to say, I think you were clutching at straws when you suggested that Aladdin may have had an ulterior motive of where he was taking Jasmine on the magic carpet.
Well, no, I said it was a bit creepy that they just met and he takes her off around the world.
It's a Disney movie and they hadn't just first met.
Just take her around the city. That would have been pretty cool.
Well,
yeah, but
she's never been out. She's never been out the gates of the city too often. Just take her out into the city. That'd be pretty fun.
that completely defeats the whole purpose of Jasmine as a character, though.
Well, no, because you show her the beauty of the different cities.
Never take a girl out on a date, okay? Because let's just go around town.
You just go to the slums of Agrabah.
I can show you the world. I can show you the landfill.
I can show you that drug-addled, rabies-filled
What's that magic roundabout you speak of?
It's the only famous thing about Swindon. Okay, so we're down to one more left for the round, and it is Hercules, I Can Go the Distance versus Circle of Life.
Oh no, wait, Chris, I'm fighting Chris or Tate or Tom?
You're fighting.
I don't even know.
You're fighting. As Chris goes first, I'm going to take off my headset quickly and take off my jumper. But you guys, I can hear you. Go.
Okay, right. Go the Distance, written beautifully and composed by Alan Menken, is one of my personal favorite Disney songs. And why it's so great is it's the classic Superman story. It's the course of Hercules. It's wrestling with his identity. He's been put down by everyone. He knows that he's different, but he doesn't know why, and he needs to seek the courage in himself to go out into the world on his own, which is something we all have to do at some point, whether we have to do it being dragged, kicked and screaming. And it's just a beautiful song. It's an inspiring song. It starts off really poignantly where he just climbs up the tree on his own. He's looking to the stars, and he has just sort of like this otherworldly moment. He knows he's destined for greater things. He just doesn't know what they are. And it's beautiful. It's just a really, really passionate song. It's a very inspiring song. And that's ultimately what the character of Hercules generates in us. You know, he's a very relatable guy. He's just like all of us, really, just kind of lost in this big world. And he leaves his family during the song. It's like a nice break in the song. There's no lyrics. It's just the orchestral music that carries it through.
And
then it
go.
No one really cares about Hercules. You're giving him this character journey when he's like us. He's a demigod. He's nothing like us. And you're going to talk about it was a nice beginning for the character. We're talking about beginnings. And you have the circle of life. I'm not going to sing the Arsene Wenger bit, but it's phenomenal, and it's the most kind of opening world. It's a great opening to the best Disney film of all time. And not only is it showing the birth of Simba, the protagonist, it's showing all the animals in the land coming together. It genuinely is the circle of life that you're seeing on screen. And then you have you're talking about a composer. You've got Hans Zimmer here, who won Best Oscar, the best soundtrack, his only Oscar somehow. We both heard it live, Chris. We both loved it. And it's a fascinating opening scene, and it's one of the most iconic songs of all time. Not just Disney. There's no one on this planet that doesn't know the opening to the Circle of Life and the voices come into it. Seeing the animation, the introduction of Simba. There's so much more to this than Hercules is a character journey, but no one remembers that song. They remember scenes of the film. If you're going to talk about Hercules song, it's going to be about the three women singing.
I would say that Circle of Life is a very bombastic song, but I would say that song just kind of, once that's over, the whole film just kind of sits after that. It is pretty much, you are just watching sort of like animals come to this congregation, and it is beautiful animation, but the animation in Hercules is also beautiful. You have landscape shots, you have different weather effects, and I'm sorry, I would go over character journey rather than just being loud and bombastic and in your face, which is what Lion King is. Just being iconic doesn't technically make it the greatest song, if we're looking at the song as well, just the instrumentation and just how Alan Menken weaves them together.
We're not talking about loud and bombastic. There are very quiet moments, the delicate moments, especially when the monkey is kind of prodding him with the fruit makeup thing. That's not loud and bombastic. That's a character moment of showing his birth. You're introducing the key protagonist in this one scene. Whereas Hercules, it's just focusing on one person. And you're talking about the animation. There's a sunrise in the first like 5 seconds. So we don't have to talk about different weather patterns here. And then back to
Alistair, do you want to go first on this one?
Yeah, I think The Lion King is very very iconic song, obviously. Especially the opening scene, introduces the character. However, it doesn't really give you much more breadth or depth to the character. Whereas Hercules, you do see that he's a conflicted character, and you sort of relate. I think we all relate to him in some shape or form. So I think I might have to give it to Hercules because it just explores the facet of the character and his motivations. Whereas the other ones, literally, there's Simba.
And it's a great moment.
Really. There you go.
I'm gonna go next. I just want to point out that he doesn't find out he's a demigod until halfway through the song.
Oh yeah, but we can't relate to Hercules because we're not demigods. That's what I mean.
No.
I can't relate to Simba because he's a lion and I'm not.
I never said to relate to him.
However, my house sigil is the lion. But anyway, the better argument was done by George. It really is iconic. It's just it stands out. It really does, and I hear it all the time when not even watching The Lion King. And to be honest, go the distance. I watched Hercules 2 weeks ago, and it didn't stand out then. And when George said it didn't stand out in his argument, I was like, yeah, I agree with that. So I'm going Lion King.
What film were you watching, Tate?
He was watching a boring film called Hercules. There's only one good.
I disagree.
There is only one good Hercules film, and that stars Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
We're not doing this. We're so not doing this.
Tom.
Yeah.
You got the deciding vote.
Yeah. Okay. See, I think both films are laughably awful.
That's
and there goes 100 subscribers. Great job.
Yeah. I hate The Lion King. Actually, in fact, I hate The Lion King more than I hate Hercules.
That's because you have no soul.
What? Oh yeah, because gingers don't have souls. Yeah.
I never thought of that, but yeah.
Yes. But you know, both arguments were pretty good. I just felt Chris expressed more about the characters in it, or the character of Hercules in it than than you did, George. And you know, I hate to say this, but I hate the song as well. Like both songs, I just hate. But based on Chris's arguments about the character, I'm gonna go with Chris.
Hercules goes through, and I believe we have to talk for a couple of seconds. That's probably
we don't need to talk because I'd already anticipated it. Here we go. Round two. Are we ready for round two? Yes, ish.
Oh God!
So the entirety of the left-hand lane got through on the right-hand lane, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the first round, all the higher up ones went. The first half, all the higher up ones went out.
Yep.
In the second half,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is going to be a mess.
This is
could make it
confusing because from there, I would just say, yep, right-hand side wins, but
So
that's
just to
probably because like my main pick's up there.
So just to go through the ones that still remain, we have Part of Your World, I'm Still Here, I Want to Be Like You, Reflection, Hellfire, Be Prepared, A Whole New World, and that shouldn't be Circle of Life. That should be.
Oh no, sorry, I've
Hercules.
cropped the wrong one out. No, I've meant to crop Hercules.
And then
I
And
got
go
the
the
wrong
distance,
side.
Hercules.
No, because I've put the red line through it. Let me refix that.
that is fine. I believe we'll just move on to the next round because George is not arguing.
Do we
Yeah,
have any
just-
comments at all? If we're sort of
Yeah,
keep moving.
I've been commenting about people. Tom apparently got through by the skin of his teeth in the argument with me. So well done, Tom. A lot of tries and fails. You tried. You get a clap, Tom. A lot of comments about Tom trying and failing.
I think Tom's like me. We're just out of our territory.
Okay, so the next round is hey, look, it's Tom versus Chris. So it is Part of Your World with Tom versus I'm Still Here.
Yes.
Tom, you went first.
Okay.
And go.
So I've spoken about the character and what the song does for the character numerous times in the first round, so I won't respond to that. So I won't elaborate on that. What I will say is that the Treasure Planet song is terrible. It's so emo. It's so bad. It's just generic fucking rock music, and it really grinds my I just want to punch whoever wrote it. Honestly, it really does just irritate me. And you know, you can say all you want about the character, but the song itself is just so laughably generic that it's not even worth mentioning because it's the poorest song out of the whole bunch we've got here. And I don't know why you picked it, honestly. I just for life of me can't. And
stop.
You know.
Chris,
Well,
go.
you know, you kind of just vented against the song there. I'm going to be a bit more subjective about the songs themselves. Your one, Part of Your World, is a very nice song, but I really don't think you talked about earlier about her reaching up that swan moment. I don't think the animation is particularly just, you know, stand out in that moment at all. It's just her in this just like grotto, just like picking up items. And in fact, that song was kind of parodied later in South Park the movie with I Want to Live Out There with Satan singing it. And it is kind of a trope of just like the classic princess, just like, oh, pining away. Whereas I think I'm Still Here speaks much more to the character. And I think it is a very fitting song for the character of Jim Hawkins. We get his whole backstory in the video. There's a lot more going on with this song. And just lyrically, it completely matches the character. It matches the moment. And we have the juxtaposition of Jim's father leaving him when he was a kid against this new person he's finding as a father figure who's supporting him, who's helping him become a man. And that's ultimately what the song is. He doesn't know who he is. And by the end of the song, when the chorus repeats, it's exactly the same words. It has a new meaning.
Stop.
There's
Right. So I'm so lost.
Tate, I think I'm presented. There we go.
Oh yeah, I'm presenting Tom now. But you're 15 seconds in, dude.
Yeah, I know. Fucking hell. Well, like, what is the
He's
point?
on the ropes.
I am on the ropes. I can't think of anything.
No, come on. Little Mermaid.
And stop. Chris.
Well, I don't know if I need to follow up anything else. I'll just sort of punctuate it by saying that the song itself does have a course. It has an evolution to the song, and the angsty sort of like 90s grunge kind of sound works for the character of Jim Hawkins. People may find him angsty and emo, but come on, we all went through a phase like that in our lives, didn't we? I think. Maybe. I don't know. I
didn't.
think it's a great song and it's a
No.
very underrated Disney film, and I think everyone should watch Treasure Planet, and it is a fantastic song that works for it.
I apparently can't stop presenting Chris to everyone, but that is time. I'm
Do you
going
want
to
me to go
go ahead
first?
and say that. No, I want to go first on this one, actually. I agree with Tom. This song should not be on this list, even slightly. But he didn't argue, so the point goes to Chris.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
Kept on
Tom-
arguing.
Yeah, I want to send Tom through because I hate Treasure Planet, and also
I hate that song
he made
so much.
he made a good point about the emo stuff, but then he didn't really argue. So unfortunately, Little Mermaid just lost to Treasure Planet.
Alistair, what would you have gone with, man?
I really like Treasure Planet as a film. I think the song isn't that memorable, but it does set out the character. The princess
It
trope
should be. It should
is
be an
massively
adventure.
overdone. It should be, but again, it's a bit,
adventure
dull.
song.
Yeah,
it's just-
it's a bit. I know what you mean. It's a bit too lackluster.
Well,
However, the Disney princess trope has been massively overdone, so I'm going to have to give it to Treasure Planet for doing
Well,
something a bit different.
that was to be expected. To be honest, I want to just be completely honest here.
Yeah.
I hate both songs, and I have no idea why I picked
Why
it.
did you pick it?
I don't
Why
know.
did you pick it?
Well, I actually no, I did originally like it, but listening to it before the bracket, I thought it stops and starts, and it's just so like just ugh. I had more arguments against it than I had for it. I just whatever.
Oh man, I could not have predicted this today. This is just like I know I say it every time we do Battle of the Brackets, but really, really shocking results in this one today.
Okay, a minute. George, you're up. Who's got I Want to Be Like You? George.
That's
Ooby
Jordan.
doo.
Is that you?
Like
George?
one fan. Yes, the monkeys have evolved
Okay.
into the apes.
You ready?
You're
Wait, who's he up against? Who's he up
I'm
against?
I Want to Be
fighting-
Like You versus Reflection.
I'm fighting Harvey Two-Face Dent. The problem with the Mulan song is it's just miserable and pathetic. It's so boring. All that film is just moaning. It's just like Pocahontas, but no wait, is Reflection Pocahontas or Mulan?
It's Mulan.
Sorry, on this picture she looks exactly like Pocahontas. That's why I thought that. Yeah, it's just such a boring film. You've got Uber Do You Want to Be Like Me, where it's an interesting scene, and the other thing, it does further the plot because they have to take King Louis back, whereas Reflection just her moping about in the mirror. I don't care if you want to rip half your makeup off. I don't care about your mirrors and the other half. I just want to have a bit of fun. I want to be able to get drunk and sing a song, and that's what I Want to Be Like You is all about. If you haven't sung it when you drink, you're really missing out. Whereas Mulan, there's just nothing about it. I'm trying to remember things, but it's just a miserable sob. It's exactly like Pocahontas, and that's what makes it so boring. It's just bored of it. It's just that in another country in a different era. Repeat Jungle Book. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like this song of a guy dressing up as a monkey pretending to jibber jabber.
We seem to have lost an
Have we-
integral player in this match.
Is Tate gone? I've just ranted that without looking at the screen.
Tate's gone.
Is Tate gone?
He's
I
dead.
don't know how
does
long.
that mean-
Yeah. I don't
Was
know.
I
I think-
doing well? I've lost the count. I've lost.
I don't know if he's just rage quitted, like fuck this shit, and he's just like
Was
peaced out.
was he there? Did he listen to me attack?
He
I
listened
don't
to
know.
him. Should I argue it for him? But if I lose, then Tate's gonna hate me for life.
Yeah. What like what?
He's got to go out.
I don't know because it depends what his argument is. It's not a fair fight. Can we message him? Can we find out where he's gone?
Is it technical difficulties?
Yeah, it has to be. I think Skynet's
Technical
taken over
Does this mean that we eliminate Tate's picks?
potentially. Put it to the comments section. Shall we eliminate Tate because he is not? Oh, he might be back.
Is he back?
Do we have a Tate back?
Does he lose because of?
No, he's back.
He doesn't have a camera, but Tate's back.
I can't hear him.
Neither can I.
Technical difficulties.
Does this mean it's a forfeit?
He's kind of there.
If we sort of give him, he's back.
Tate, you are massively
can you see
lagging
me?
on this.
No.
No, we can't see
Okay.
you.
Wow.
Can you hear my voice at least?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear your voice. Okay, so
Um,
Tate, you need to
it's-
argue reflection
Um,
after George's masterful argument for his own.
I don't know what I'm arguing against, which is going to put me at a disadvantage.
I want to be like you.
His argument, so I don't know what points he made.
Well, just wing it.
yeah.
Come on, let's pick it up. Let's pick it up. Come on, Tate, you
I'll
can do it.
start with
Reflection.
Okay, reflection. Reflection is just a phenomenal beauty, and whether she wants to let it out in front of her peers and show it to the world or not. And I just wanted to say that it is a personal song. It isn't a sad moping. It is Sandbone's soul as a character, and it is a character with "I want to be like you." There is an entire sequence in this song where they literally speak nonsense words where you don't understand a single thing. It may be fun, but I didn't enjoy it. I'm pretty sure that most parents wouldn't enjoy the fact that you can't understand what they're saying, what they're doing. And most of the song is actually taken up by them dancing. That is all it is. Barely any lyrics. How does that even resemble as a song because of that? Mulan speaks to a next level of a person. It speaks to you personally. Do you have these thoughts and feelings that are experienced in the song that she's singing about? Are you conflicted as well? Well, it resonates back. It is a reflection of yourself and the character. Go.
You're talking about. You said it's not sad and You said it's not sad and moody. Then it's personal, which is the same thing depending on your personality. Then you're going to talk about this. There's no nonsense with this. There's an ape telling a human, "I want to be like you." If that's not personal, then what is? He wants to walk like him. He wants to talk like him. He wants to do the same things as him. Whereas Mulan, it's just mopey. Be grateful for what you are. You'd be a monkey maybe, but no. You just want to stick in your family. There's a poor monkey here.
And
He's absolutely desperate to be a human.
Jesus.
Being grateful and being in a pretty bad situation where you don't understand
Oh,
what you are or what you want to aim to go for are two completely different things. What you've gone and argued is that my song is given points towards. It makes no sense. And the elements where it does make sense, it's barely sung at all. It isn't voice. Really. I don't know how that sounded on your end.
Due to the reason that I could actually hear George's argument and that he actually quoted the song, I'm going to go with George on that one, I'm afraid.
Did you not hear me?
we could bits.
Oh no, that's unfair.
You sounded,
brought the
like
thunder.
you sounded like a Cylon from Battlestar Galactica.
I brought the thunder to the war. No, that doesn't work.
This is man, I feel this feels so unfair
okay.
now.
Huh?
Yeah.
Just answer me this. Like I'll ask. I did the same thing. When was it for the?
Oh, it's the
Previous
last one.
yeah.
Yeah, the last one. Explain in a couple of sentences why it's the best, so I can get a clear picture of your argument, because I really didn't hear you.
It's the best song because it speaks personality about a character and is a reflection of what you personally believe in. You could feel those thoughts and emotions yourself as a viewer. Whilst with "I Want to Be Like You," it doesn't resonate even slightly. Song. It isn't sung well, and just I'm guessing you guys can't hear me.
Yeah,
Or
no,
can you?
no,
No, I can. I'm just listening to blasphemy.
Okay,
One speaks to you on a personal level. The other one is just nonsense gibberish shouted at you.
okay, right. I've got it.
Am I getting rebuttal or am I getting a few sentences as
No,
well?
because you didn't even hear my argument apparently.
I didn't hear the last 10 seconds.
Oh god, this is.
But
What is okay? I'm going George with mine. Tom.
because do I get a few sentences to talk to Tom?
Yes.
So do you want me to go? Right.
Just,
because
yeah, go,
just a few
go.
sentences.
we're arguing the best ever Disney song, and Disney is associated with having a fun time. Disney is associated, having dreams. It's the whole point of believing in that extra world. And Tate's saying it's personal. It's not about personal stuff. There's nothing, because we're humans. It's different. There is an ape saying, "I want to be like you." You can resonate that to other things. People want to do other things, and they're allowed to do. That's what that song is about. There's a personal layer to it, but it's about fun at the end of the day. And that's what Disney is. It's not about moping around in mirrors.
Yeah, fun. Yeah, I think fun. I'm still got to go with fun for this one.
That's fair
Alistair,
enough.
what about you? If you could hear Tate's argument.
Yeah. Jungle Book's a good song, but it's a bit annoying, to be honest. It's a fun song, but that's all it is. It's superficial. Whereas Mulan, especially at the end, where the reflection is on her ancestors' sort of stone. I mean, yeah, Disney make fun films, but they're not all supposed to be fun all the time. So I think I'm gonna have to give it to Mulan.
So I believe Jungle Book goes wrong on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, 2-1.
Pure depth.
Tate, I will also say that the nonsense words that are sung, that's a genre of music called scatting, which is a legit thing, which is making up words in some kind of a rhythmic beat.
Scat singing.
Scat singing.
Don't Google scat.
No, oh god, no.
It's a different genre.
The first 2 minutes is in English.
I would just like to ask: is my thing okay now?
It seems
Yes,
okay now.
yeah.
Oh man, because you didn't even hear the argument I put off. I went full on. That makes me sad now. Okay, so if my stream,
You're lagging, mate.
the next
George, do you have the picture to throw up?
No, I'll do it at the end of this round because we're halfway through the.
No, I just needed to know
I
what the
really-
next round is. So I
Oh,
can
it's
say to the
Hellfire
viewers.
versus Lion King.
it's
Okay.
Hellfire versus Lion King. Be prepared. But if I'm lagging, this is going to be horrible.
Yeah.
Fight for my life if you guys can hear me. Hopefully you can. I'm not sure why my internet
Oh, he's going again.
is dropping
I
He's
want
going
to
again.
Hellfire myself.
out. I'm going to see if I can connect to a different.
Sorry.
Do you guys want
Sorry, folks listening at home.
Do you want to do Aladdin versus Hercules and give Tate a bit of time to recuperate?
Yeah.
Is it better now, guys?
It seems the same. Yeah, it seems better.
It keeps dropping in and dropping out, Tate. Yeah, you've got again. I don't want to argue it for him in case, you know.
Do Aladdin versus Hercules.
Okay.
And we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Yeah.
We'll do that first. Okay, who's
Okay.
got a stopwatch?
I've got a stopwatch.
I know, but you keep lagging, Tate, so we probably won't
Yeah,
be
that's
able
fair.
to
Do one.
say it. I'm bringing up a stopwatch now. Okay.
I can do one.
And go.
Okay, so A Whole New World, like the Beauty and the Beast song, really gets you in the feels. It's emotional, it's breathtaking, the animation's beautiful, and you know, it's really you could. It's what shit. What?
You've lost it completely, man.
Yeah, I know. I've bottled it. This is a bottle job. Right. So, fucking.
You got 25 seconds left.
Right. Okay. So it's shit. I fucking bottled this. Fuck.
You can do.
15 seconds left. Come on,
This
Tom.
one, there's no fucking
We
point.
don't, want,
The
we, don't want,
dream
we,
is
don't,
dead.
we don't want another empire. We don't want another empire in our hands. Come on. 5 seconds.
Aladdin and Jasmine are good.
Okay, my turn. Re-sing. Okay. A Whole New World is a beautiful song. It's a classic sort of like romantic Disney song. However, I will say if we're looking at the clip as well, there are moments in that video that are totally jarring. We want to just like go on this wild and wonderful ride on this magic carpet, and there's moments in it where they fly past the Sphinx and the nose gets chipped off, and they fly past a cartoon stork and it like screams, and it really just kind of take me out of the movie. Go the Distance is a personal journey of Hercules, who we see having to overcome this huge task of going out and seeking his destiny, which is the scariest thing in the world, breaking away from the known, from the farm life. It is basically the story of Superman. And, you know, he goes on this journey, and throughout the course of the song, it's him pining away. He knows he needs to do this task. And we follow him on his journey, and we arrive at his destination when he gets to the Temple of Zeus. And it's a beautiful song. You've got the orchestration just woven in with it. And it's one of Alan Menken's best. It was nominated for an Academy Award and Golden Globes as well. I just think it's a beautiful song. 30 seconds, Tom.
You know, right. So to be honest, I don't know what you're saying. I personally think it's pretty boring. But the best thing about it is the orchestral stuff. The singing isn't particularly that great. and I just think, as a whole, you talk about the stork and stuff. It adds to the to the journey they go on together as a couple, or the start of their journey as a couple, which I really think is the best thing about the song, and of course the scene.
And stop. Okay, mine. Roger Bart sings this song, and I just think that his voice it shows the vulnerability in the character, and by the end of the song, it does have that power. It's not Hercules fully in adulthood yet, but this is the process that leads him to that gets him to the Temple of Zeus, which is where his journey continues from there. And just the song in general, I think it's absolutely a classic Disney song. I think it definitely is in the top 3. Alan Menken is just the man when it comes to Disney songs. He did Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, just all the classics, and Hercules is often overlooked, but I think it's beautiful, and that's me.
I'll go first, Chris, because there's no reason to not pick Chris.
I'm going to go second, Chris, because there is no reason to not pick Chris.
And Alistair?
I agree with Chris.
It's a clean sweep.
Yeah,
Because
I've bottled the fuck out of that.
A whole new world. Come on, man.
It's my favourite Disney song as well, and I bottled it.
Head in the game, man.
okay, so as long as my internet does not drop out, I believe I should be good for this battle.
Don't worry, Hellfire will die with.
Yeah.
Does it still sound jarring?
No, it sounds actually
it's not
okay
terrifying.
now. It's preparing for its downfall.
Oh, is
So
it?
Hellfire against Be Prepared. I'll man the timer again.
Okay,
Tate,
cool.
are you ready?
I
for
hope so.
Hellfire? Okay,
Yeah.
go.
Hellfire is another tier of Disney villain songs. You have your generic Disney villain songs that go through every single film. I would say that Be Prepared feels like a pantomime villain song. He really is. He is, I am bad, and I am going to look bad on stage. And whilst with Judge Frollo, you have the innocence at the start, you have the slight area of weakness before he finally succumbs to the flames of the Hellfire. And it is a complete contrast to the previous song, which is Heaven's Light, which is all about the joys and wonders of life and how character of Quasimodo is happy, and yet this one is about how the turmoil of his lapsing judgment and his conscience is bringing forward all these new feelings which he isn't used to. And it is a perfect character dilemma, as in his head he is questioning what he wants to do, asking for religion for an answer, and it's just completely denying him that answer himself. And with Be Prepared, it's got the Nazi symbols in it. It's very generic. It's quite boring.
I'm not going to talk about boring and begin about this Hellfire song, which is essentially Be Prepared, but done poorly in 3 years later. They replaced the hyenas with a bunch of red cloaks. They replaced the green smoke with just a random fire for no reason. And you're going to talk about saying it's generic personal stuff. Your song is irrelevant to the plot. I mean, Be Prepared is a necessary song. It shows Scar recruiting the hyenas to his side. The whole point of the song is to recruit the hyenas. He has 2 or 3 of them. He doesn't have them as an army. The song shows him get the army. With Hellfire, it's so on the nose. It's so basic. He's just telling us his mind. If it was a better film, they could do it through character development. He does not need to have a song to himself sitting in the fire. He can easily do something. There's a scene later where he sniffs Esmeralda's hair. He doesn't use any dialogue. That single action is far more powerful than needing a 3-minute song, which makes it made redundant. And you're talking about generic. This Be Prepared came first. It wasn't the first villainous song, but it's by far the best damn villain song they've ever had, and they will ever have.
Stop. 30 seconds.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the background music, because the background music to Hellfire it stands out. It really does. It hits you in the face with the amazing orchestral score behind it. Be Prepared. I forgot about it. The background music is not that good. The singing is a lot better in Hellfire, and the message sent is done in a much better way. You say, oh yeah, like it's just this generic kind of thing. It really isn't. It is a deep connection, and it perfectly reflects the previous songs in the film and perfectly reflects the ideas behind the entire film itself.
You want to talk about background music? Hans Zimmer won the best Oscar for the Lion King original soundtrack. Where on earth is Hunchback of Notre Dame? Oh no, it doesn't have one. So you can't talk about background music and you're going to criticize an Oscar-winning film, which is the best Disney soundtrack of all time. And you want to talk about personal ideas? This is a man admitting he's about to murder his own nephew and brother, whereas yours is just about a guy trying to get a random gypsy girl, which is going against his religion. And he doesn't even explain that. It's just some stupid scarf in a fire. It's pointless.
And stop. Wow, that battle was the most vicious we've had. Fitting for two villain songs, two of the best villain songs of all time. I'm going to say that Tate had the better opening argument on that by a long shot, but George pulled it back with the rebuttal. However, I think that George's arguments at the start were kind of fleeting, just like, oh, it's boring, it's pointless. Whereas I think Tate went into the nitty-gritty of the song a bit more and the themes around it. That being said, I don't think he argued much against Be Prepared in terms of just like the orchestral music itself, but I think overall Tate had the more fleshed out argument for that, so I'm just going to give it to Tate on that one.
Alistair?
I think George's point about how integral to the story the song is was quite interesting, because obviously in Lion King it's literally happening in front of you. However, I think in Quasimodo it'll be quite difficult to show Frollo's state of mind and his character development without a song or a monologue of some variety. So I think it'll be difficult to get sort of depth of story, so it has to be Hellfire. But it's quite close.
And Tom?
I was going to say George, because I thought his rebuttal was better, and although your opening points were strong, Tate, I thought George sort of fought against Hellfire in a way which you know was vicious and fit the the villain motif.
Okay, so Hellfire goes through.
I'm just exporting it now. I think everything's right this time.
I want to ask again, was that completely okay? Was I not
Yeah,
liking it?
Yeah, it's working fine now.
I don't know why my internet is popping out right now at 11 o'clock in the evening.
And you've just said that and it's gone funny.
Yeah.
I can see the bar on my internet going up and down. So someone else is going to have to man the comments.
Right, there we go. So if you look at the screen now, the semi-finals are somehow Treasure Planet versus Jungle Book.
No idea how that happened.
And Hellfire versus Hercules.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm back on manning the clock, I believe.
Okay, so I'm going first with Treasure Planet, yeah?
Oh, it's me v you, innit? Oh, shit, yeah.
Okay, are you ready?
There's only going to be so much I can do with just like repeating all the points I've made previously.
This is the semi-finals. So the semi-finals is exactly the same, isn't it? Because we're counting on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 1 minute each and then 30-second rebuttal each. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, I Want to Be Like You. We've established it's a fun song, great, but we talk about, George, in the previous point, you talked about that it's relevant to plot. And really it isn't, because as soon as that's over and they get Mowgli back, King Louie isn't in the rest of the movie. It's just kind of like an action set piece, because the rest of the film up until that point is fairly plodding in pace, and then this song just comes out of nowhere. I'm Still Here is an integral song to the character of Jim. It's an integral moment. If you remove that moment from the movie, it just has the moment just cements that entire film and his character journey in that one moment, which then culminates further into the rest of the film. That song is fun. You can like dance to it, but greatest Disney song to me has to be something relating to the character. And that's exactly what this song does. It's a very different one. It's kind of an outlandish pick, but I like that because it's different. It was in an era of Disney where, you know, they kind of got rid of all the songs at the end of Tarzan, and songs were very few and far between. We only had a few in Lilo and Stitch, which was the film before it, and then this one song in this one. But I think it's an beautiful song.
We're talking greatest Disney song, so Treasure Planet shouldn't actually even be in the bracket, let alone in this conversation. No one ever speaks about Treasure Planet. Most kids these days, probably the 10-year-olds, have all seen the Jungle Book, but none of them have seen Treasure Planet because it's forgotten, that no one cares about it because it's boring and awful. Then you've got your song, which is just this emo stuff to the character, which epitomizes Disney's era, because at that time no one gave a damn about Disney animated. They gave a damn about Pixar. Then you've got Jungle Book, and then you're right, okay, I can say it's fun because it is fun, but that's the point of it. And you said it's not part of the story. It is, because if you take that scene out, then the Mowgli's being kidnapped and the Jungle Book doesn't exist. So you can't say take a scene out of a film when it's crucial to the importance of it. What matters is that you introduce the characters of having the fun time while they're trying to save him. You get introduced to Bagheera, he's got this, well, not introduced, sorry, you already know him. Bagheera is very much the stricter guy, and then you've got Baloo, who's already just wandered off into his own little trap to try and get him back, which fails remarkably.
And stop.
Sadly, Treasure Planet is an underrated film because at that time, I believe it was 2001, 2002, the studio had shifted more to CGI animation and 2D things were a thing of the past. And I would say that your song is kind of more popular now when you argue against mine because it's just had a live action remake. You know, so I don't think you can really bring that into it. Treasure Planet just says a lot more about the character. There's more interesting stuff going on with the visuals rather than a couple of monkeys just dancing, laughing, because those are just 10 to the dozen in Disney songs. There's plenty of fun, upbeat Disney songs. I think that I'm Still Here does something a little bit different. And in terms of animation, you want to push the boundaries. You want to do something different. And I think that's exactly what it did.
You just said you're going to do something different about animation. You just criticized Disney for doing 3D animation, but then you just praised them in the space of 2 minutes. And then you're saying...
Treasure Planet was 2D.
Well, you just criticized them for doing 3D, and then you mentioned something else. And the problem with this, you're going to criticize my film, mentioning the new Jungle Book film. It's irrelevant. Everyone knew I Want to Be Like You way before the new Jungle Book film came out. They made sure that the song got remade for the new Jungle Book film. So that's completely Disney in itself. But Treasure Planet, Adventure Planet, whatever it is, it's just this emo garbage that's irrelevant to Disney.
I don't want to go first on this one.
I will. And I'm going to say that I think George lost it on the rebuttal.
Yeah.
I think Chris's rebuttal was much better, but I do think you attacked from the off, and it was a better opening argument. I'm going to have to go with George on this one.
Okay, I'll go next then. I think we can all agree that like the second half of the arguments was won by Chris, clearly. I'd actually say that it was pretty even on the first opening arguments. George attacked from the start, which was really, really good, but Chris defended quite well in his segment. He drew some good points forward, so I'm going to give it to Chris.
Thank you. And Alistair?
Side.
Yeah, I think I have to give it to Chris as well, purely because the sheer vitriol with which he argued.
Thank you. How has this happened, by the way, guys? Can I just say,
you do it every week, Chris.
It's always my underdog pick. It's the pick that I go, I don't know what to pick, that one. And it happened with the ending of Inception.
As a kid, I had a preoccupation with pirates, so I'm sort of biased a bit.
Well, don't say that now. You meant to remain impartial.
Okay. So Treasure Planet somehow makes it to the final, and now I have the opportunity to deny Chris having 2 picks in the final, with Hunchback of Notre Dame's Hellfire versus Go the Distance.
Okay, so you're up first then, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, and go. Hellfire stands out within the film that it's set in. There are many good films in Hunchback of Notre Dame, and it is a good film in itself. However, it really does stand out. I mean, me and Chris were discussing this beforehand, how it, like, he thinks it's going to win the bracket. I think it's going to win the bracket because of how well it's sung, how well it's animated. It has everything going for it. Every single little detail of it. And Hercules, it's quiet. It really is. And it's jarred and it's broken up with a speech scene in the middle. And it feels like, I know there is a speech scene in Hunchback of Notre Dame. However, this one is long. It's like 30 seconds long. And then it's even broken up again and it fades away at the end. You think it's going to go big and it doesn't. It really doesn't. It falls flat. And what you want from the best Disney song of all time is something grand, something you'll remember. Hellfire is something that you can remember because it speaks to the characters personally and it speaks to the story. It helps with the story. I know that Hercules does that in a better way. However, Hellfire just really brings it towards the climax. It raises the boil, whilst Hercules just kind of gets it at a simmer.
You talk about volume in a song and that Go the Distance isn't a loud song. Well, I'm sorry that a poignant, vulnerable, character-driven song doesn't have to be loud. The volume matches the character, and it does build up to a climax once Hercules has reached his destination that he needs to go. I've mentioned loads before that I think Frollo is more fascinating without just singing a song and just really hitting it face value. We know his bad. We know that he has an infatuation with Esmeralda, and we know afterwards he attempts to burn Paris. Everything is there with the character. The song just kind of repeats that, and it might be just like impressive visually and everything like that, but in Disney animation, you really can't argue against that with another Disney film. The animation in Hercules is also flawless. You started the point saying that, yours has a quiet moment and mine does, and then you backtracked and said that yours does too. the character moment is him leaving his family. It's absolutely heart-wrenching. It's something we all have to go through. Not all of us have an infatuation with a particular gypsy girl and are just deranged, just religiously, just everything like that.
Stop. You're using the gypsy girl as the argument because it is what he is pursuing. It is his end game. His end game is that, and he is being driven to this through almost insanity, and it really brings forward the thoughts of his mind. You wouldn't be able to do that with a speech. You have to do it with him completely voicing out, confessing to himself through the flames. And with Hercules, it just feels too small. It's meant to be a big moment, and it just feels too small, too enclosed. It really needs to open out, and it just falls flat.
Is it mean? Okay. You talk about that it couldn't be done with speech. Your character motive absolutely could, and it is done in many, many scenes in the film before and after that, not just in that song. You talk about Go the Distance being small and flat. I really don't think it is. It is expansive. It's him. The song mirrors him going out into the large, expansive world. It's him reaching the Temple of Zeus, and you say that it isn't really integral, anything like that. It absolutely is. This is the foundation of Hercules. It's when he makes that conscious decision.
Do you want me to go?
Go for it.
Yeah, go on, George.
In all honesty, I despise both songs, which is great because it makes for an interesting argument listener. I think Chris actually, considering I kind of fucked up the first one and Tom fucked up the second one, it's the first time we've properly heard him defend that Hercules one. And obviously Tate's been attacked a few times, and I think Chris made the better points overall, especially when Tate kind of did backpedaling himself, saying, it's quiet, so is yours, and stuff like that, which gives the edge to Chris. So I'm giving Chris my vote.
Thank you.
Tom?
I'm actually going to go with Tate on this one because I think that, his points resonated more with me, and I just felt that Chris's argument was a bit too rambly.
Do you pine after a gypsy girl as well, Tom? Is that it?
Not in a creepy way.
Do you sing into the fire every night?
And Alistair?
I think they both argued very, very well. I'd say, Chris was very, very vitriolic again, but perhaps it did go on a bit. I think Hellfire perhaps does have a bit less of a substance to it, and perhaps it does repeat what goes on in the film, but it does bring it to the forefront, and it seems to be sort of the catalyst for the change within Frollo. So I'm a bit torn, to be honest. I think because the song is quiet and small, and because Hercules is quiet and small, I think I'll have to give it to Chris. Just because
No way.
Because the character feels inside, he feels weedy, and the song is weedy, and I think it sort of carries it through. Whereas, it is very close. I don't know.
I'm having to
by a hair.
I've got to re-export this image.
I'm in shock.
So am I.
Chris's number 3 and 4 picks made it to the final.
And Tate, me and you off the record, we were talking about Disney films when we met up that weekend, and we were going through my Disney shelf, and we both said that Hunchback is both of our favourites and that Hellfire is both of our favourite songs of Disney. So,
if it wasn't that Frollo acted the way he did outside the song beforehand, then I would give it to Hellfire.
I am.
You know what I mean?
Tate,
Chris,
it's that close.
If it's any consolation, Tate, I didn't mean anything. I said in the argument.
I know you didn't.
Hellfire is a fantastic song. It's the quintessential villain song of Disney. It's one of the best. But I think we have a finished image up of what's going into the final, and I don't know how this has happened. I really genuinely don't. This is Treasure Planet and Go the Distance.
This is two lists in a row where I don't agree with the end result.
I need to defer one, don't I? It's really anticlimactic if I just
you have to choose someone to argue one.
I'm gonna ask Tate to argue Go the Distance.
Go the Distance
because I know he hates the really angsty
beyond
Goo Goo
measure
Dolls song in Treasure Planet.
We don't deserve to win a Treasure Planet.
I'm just happy that Treasure Planet's made it to the final because that is a movie that needs more recognition. Okay, and I could get on my soapbox right now and just
definitely
say,
does not need more recognition.
it's as Alistair said, it's pirates, man. It's not just pirates; it's space pirates, which is infinitely
That's in
more
Star
awesome.
Wars too.
But it hasn't been in Disney before.
Okay,
No,
so I'm arguing to go the distance. Don't worry, I've already got my argument prepared.
I don't know how this has happened.
The final round works in the way of 3 minutes non-stop. Anyone can butt in.
No.
between me and you.
We're not doing that. That was terrible
Okay.
last time. We'll do it 30 seconds each.
30 seconds
Take
each.
up 2 minutes.
Take up 2 minutes. And then closing arguments.
So it's like 2 rebuttals, and then if we do like the final sentence or whatever. Okay, so
Yeah,
am I
you're
going
going
first? Okay, in one of the most underrated Disney songs of all time, I'm Still Here is the best Disney song because it says the most about the character. Go the Distance has those, oh my God, I'm arguing against myself, this is weird. Has those moments where, you know, it's very typical Disney, it's someone pining for something again, whereas I'm Still Here is Jim from a boy, a teenager, becoming a man. And it's him just trying to forget his past of his dad leaving him and accepting John Silver as this new father figure, which makes it more impactful later on.
And that's 30 seconds. You just said it was a typical Disney song. We are battling for the best original Disney song. You cannot get any more Disney than having a Disney-fied song. And this is a brilliant song. It is about chasing your dreams, chasing what you want to do in life. It is about leaving home. It is the journey of a child becoming a man in that own sense. With Treasure Planet, it is just mopey and boring. It is the emo way of growing up, whilst Disney way of growing up is seen in Hercules. And it's the one that people resonate more with, not with the, oh, I'm so dumb. Yoga.
I think that's something that everyone wrestles with, though, and I think that's why the Treasure Planet has the edge. We talk about Disney and why it's the best Disney song. Disney has always been about pushing the boundaries with their films and evolving, and if you look at the course of their films, it absolutely has, and I think Treasure Planet marks the end of time where 2D animation was really at its high, and before it petered out with CGI animation, and I like that they tried something different. It's something we hadn't really heard in the Disney song before, and for that and because it really fits the character, and it fits the movie that it's in, and still being a Disney
stop.
gives it the edge.
Yeah, we haven't seen a Disney film before because it doesn't fit a Disney film. It really does not. With Hercules, you have a lot of elements in there which are amazing. The animation, I just like to talk about the cinematography of the animation. You've got the moment where he's staring across the horizon. That horizon symbolizes where his life is going. He's got to go out into the big wide world and go to that horizon. He goes to Zeus's temple, and it's all grand. It's a fleeting moment for him. He can see it all across like the screen, where he has stood in the temple. He stood above a fathering figure for him, who is his father. Okay, final 30 seconds, Chris.
Oh, I've got another 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, you were talking more about the animation there. The animation in the flashback sequences in Treasure Planet is absolutely stellar. It's done in a very sort of like sepia tone and really matches the feel of that because you have the juxtaposition of space and just like the color of it and planets and Jim working with John Silver. And it's an absolute beautiful visual experience, which is enhanced by the song. I'm really clutching for straws here at the minute, but I think that Go the Distance, we talk about...
Stop.
Oh, fucking hell.
With I'm Still Here, and I have argued this on every single goddamn round. I think I've had this pick every single time. He is not singing it. It does not feel personal. You do not connect with the character because of that. Unless you've experienced something very similar, where you don't have a fathering figure in your life, you will not resonate with that. That may help people who have not had that. However, Go the Distance works with everyone. It speaks to the masses. Instead of a very small target population, you've got everyone going, okay, yeah, I can go the distance too. It riles you up. It's something that you can sing to whilst I'm still here. You cannot. And that's it.
I think it's pretty obvious who won that one, but George?
Let Tom go first.
Tom.
Yeah.
Who you vote for?
Actually, I think Chris spoke about this a lot during the bracket. Is the fact that it is a much more personal thing, and I do understand how you can sort of disassociate the actual song because he isn't singing it to the character himself. But I think it speaks more about the character than Go the Distance does. I'm gonna have to go with Treasure Planet.
Oh, God.
Alistair.
Alistair, come on. Got your pirate.
As much as I like Treasure Planet, and I am a pirate inside, I am Pirate King. doesn't even sing the song. It's not even Jim singing it. I don't feel that I can, in good conscience, give it to him. I'm gonna have to give it to Hercules. And let's be honest, you'd hate me a bit if I didn't.
Yeah, I would. Tate,
George.
actually, before George gives the decider, Tate, you've been in this situation before where you've had two of your own picks in the final. I believe it was the first one we did. TV moments. I think it was Doctor Who and Fry's Dog. What was kind of that experience for you when you got to the final? Was it weird,
if I'm going to be honest, because it was my own pick, I knew all of the flaws as I'd already worked it out, and I knew the strengths of my own one as I built them up across the rounds. And to be honest, with my moments, I picked Doctor Who as my number 2 pick, and Fry's Dog was number 3 pick. I was going to go ahead and say that I felt more comfortable with Fry's Dog because I learned more about it as I was making my argument. And in fact, I came up with the feels like a short story argument on the spot, and it did kind of help because that was the thing that won it in the end. So to be honest, it was a little bit of not really expecting what the arguments were going to be, and also knowing what the weaknesses were for the other argument. And it'd be pretty disappointing, Chris, if George votes for me and you lose on your own terms.
The thing is, arguing against your own, you could see I was really struggling there with that one. It's really tough, especially when you've been.
I just want to go ahead and say that I'm Still Here should not be on this list.
Well,
And
it is, and it made it through to the final, damn it. And
it might have won, who knows?
I'm Still
George
Here
voting?
went the distance, and I'm just happy that it did. George, your deciding vote. We have I'm Still Here from Treasure Planet or Go the Distance from Hercules. Which is going to take the winner as best original Disney song?
Oh, I
Hold on,
wonder.
does that mean that Treasure Planet isn't really original?
Well, no, it is. That's why it's in best original Disney song. Damn it. George, have the floor.
I hate this.
He's voting for your one, isn't he?
I'm really thinking in my head back to the arguments to try and. I want to give it to Hercules so bad, but I think Chris argued it better. But I don't want to give Chris the win.
But Jim,
But I'm following the rules, so I'm following the
Basically.
rules. Yeah, so
Chris wins anyway.
So based off the Chris wins around, but based off the arguments, we have like the first ever fraud winner.
With Treasure Planet.
I just want
Yeah.
to.
Can I just confirm, is Treasure Planet the one that's taken it?
First
Yeah,
one.
unfortunately.
I just want to point out here. I just want just a quick show of hands. Who hates that song?
You know what? I didn't listen to it because I thought behind the first round.
George,
Because
Aldrich,
I saw that as a child and I was there like, I do not like this. And then you sent it to me. I was there like, oh look, it's going up against Pocahontas. It's fucked. Let's not bother.
Yeah, I was surprised every single round it went through except for the Ariel
I mean,
one because Tom.
There's a message board here where I'd already edited Close the Wind to go through, and then I genuinely didn't realize that it didn't win.
This has been. I don't think we could have predicted any of these. I think this completely went against all of our predictions because I think we all pretty much had similar predictions as what was going to get through. And let's be honest, in the final, it should have belonged to Lion King, Beauty and the
I
Beast,
thought I was gonna get it.
or Hunchback. Yeah.
Can we just put say what you wanted to win?
Okay. We'll go through the
What
panel.
you
So,
thought should
Alistair,
have won. Alistair, what do you reckon out of those songs is your winner?
out of which ones? All of them.
yeah,
All of them.
yeah.
Oh, it has to be Hellfire.
Tate, we know what your one is, but
Yeah.
Right. Tom,
It would have been if I had to pick one to win or out of my own judgment, it would have been A Whole New World, but I argued it so badly.
George,
Be prepared because it's my outright favorite Disney song.
And Chris.
I think for themes and just it is my favorite Disney film. I would have to give it to Hellfire as well.
That makes me really sad.
Yeah. You're the spiritual winner, Tate, of this with
I'll
Hellfire.
take that.
But the
I'll
one
take that.
that wins it is I'm Still Here from Treasure Planet. Do we have the final image, George?
I don't think I want to see it.
I want to see it. This has to be seen to be believed by the masses.
This
Has to be official.
this is just shit. I think it's the right.
This is
word.
shocking. I feel so dirty. I want to shower.
You know how last time when Star Wars went out the first round for greatest soundtracks,
And
And it just
Braveheart
looked
somehow
wrong.
won. I don't know how Braveheart won. I don't know how Treasure Planet won.
it just looked wrong with like a red strike through it. I'm kind of
Chris,
getting
you
the
need to be-
opposite of that with Treasure Planet.
You need to be stopped.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is
next
wrong.
time.
Well, this was Tate's almost.
Yeah.
He wanted this bracket. This isn't part
Because
of the main ones.
I thought if I get Hellfire, I can win this.
But no, also as in we're meant to be doing best comic films, which is next.
Yeah.
Yes.
This was Tate's
Not
demand.
exactly sure. Yeah,
I don't know
that'll
when.
probably be next week.
Hopefully next week. Yeah. I need
Yeah, at some point next week.
I still haven't won.
That's gonna be a good one, but we've all got to watch some certain films on that list. But yeah, so be sure to comment, subscribe, let us know what you thought was your favorite pick out of our ones, and any that we didn't include on our list, please recommend them as well. Absolutely unpredictable battle of the brackets. I want to thank you to everyone on the panel today. Alistair, thank you so much for jumping on and judging for us today. Just jumped on right at the last minute. Thank you, you were brilliant. In terms of what's coming up on the channel, loads more movie reviews, reactions from me, because I know there's some big trailers coming out like Guardians of the Galaxy. And yeah, just hit that subscribe button and that'll do it for us tonight. So until the next video, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.